Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Aragaisi. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine did he packing. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 all accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing, while he's dojo training hours a day, playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Aragaisi. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine did he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not.
All right, my friends, here we go. This is the Dojo Training Program. Yes, sir. Now, let me just see if I can get the YouTube up. There we go. Boom.
But he can't be wrong, he scored a like from...
Yeah, buddy. Hi, Alex. Oh, Alex, it's rough days for me, but my knee kind of hurts. I don't even know why it happened. Maybe because I was doing some swimming, some breaststroke, and then the kneecap got all funny. I got my ulnar nerve thing again, dude. Fudge. So I was making so good of progress, buddy. Now, despair. I got some good despair now. Where can we see the full version? C'est la vie. Yeah, the full version of the song. We have that. We actually, yeah, sure. We have a video of that if you go to our YouTube channel. If you just do like Dojo or David Raps or something like that, you'll find it. Okay, so yeah, Caps Chess is on YouTube. We released it ages ago, and I thought it was going to be a viral hit, and no one liked it at the time, but I just keep playing because it's so awesome. Okay, Cry, you need to get your situation moving. Here we're going to go news feed. Then we go view all. Bam. And so here are our graduates. I think I'm going to do all of the graduates today because we only have 26. That's a lot. Maybe that's too much. We'll see. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. Okay. Bobcuff is a famous dojoer. He is the son of Cove Bob, and he played some tournaments. So let's go see what's going on over here with Bobcuff. Yeah, so 423 normalized. Great. Look at that progress. That's looking pretty good. Okay, English. He's normalized at 607. So he trusts more the online world. Maybe eventually he'll go to the other business. And, you know, it's interesting. I'm doing this series, how to make X. So how to make 500, how to make 600, how to make 700. And there, I'm really able to look at a player's profile and see what they've done. But if you just graduated, usually the buckets aren't really full yet. But Bobcuff is saying his buckets are already full. So let's just go click into this for a second. So if I go full training plan, show completed tasks. Okay, so that makes sense. And we go tactics. I see. So he's got some points here just because he already achieved the basic standards here. So that makes sense. Oh, and he's doing other things he shouldn't be doing. And he's got his one end game thing done. Okay, beautiful. Let's see a game from Bobcuff. Oh, we're fixing this all uploads thing. I threw a fit. The other day. So this is 60-30. He, for his cohort, really just needs to play. Bobcuff. That's been a while since you've submitted a game here, buddy. Let's see what's going on. Have I already done this? Well, I haven't. But this has been a while ago. So there's a FIDE rated OTB tournament. Okay, great. All right, beautiful. So let's get in. Oh, wrong one. Bang. Oh, I bet I have to do a jadoob. Hold on. Let me just do a little jadoob here. Kabam. Kabam. Okay, so here we go. All right. So DC4, controversial because of maybe D5 can hurt. I think some grandmasters have actually done this. It's very controversial. E4. Now I think if you're going to do this, then you need to try to play Bishop G4. Okay. D5 there really would hurt. That would really hurt. Okay. E5. I like Bishop takes C4 better, but okay. Good. Bad move. So why is this a bad move from White? Because you have one problem piece, and he's setting it free. So Bishop D2, Queen C2, something like that. Okay. Good. You're doing fine. And Bishop E4. I don't know about Bishop E4. Are we really going to take that thing? You talk about Knight A5 in the notes. I definitely think Knight A5 is a good move. You're talking to all these light squares. Excuse me. These light squares over here. That's a mistake. So, something important to say is at this level, the most important thing is going to be to not hang our coconuts, right? And we're hanging our coconut here on E4. Queen G4. Yeah. And this is poor because now, bang, not only gains a tempo, but he's really coming into those dark squares. Now, rook e3 is fine. I think this is also mean, queen g5. Oh, that's a bad move. Why is it a bad move? Because he should be trying to mate you. He should be trying to mate you on those dark squares, something like that. Poor. Don't let him come in. So this is, again, your hanging stuff. Uh-oh, hanging stuff. So a couple things I want to say is that this is great that Bobcuff got to play in a FIDE-rated tournament. And at this level, the decisive mistakes will all be people hanging stuff. So not complicated tactics, but stuff like this, where we throw our knight in and then, boom, we're in trouble. Notice here, we're still worse after 95, but, you know, we're doing things. We're doing things. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if White gave us any hope. Oh, that's a good move, c4. That's a good move. Maybe he let us mate him. Oh, dang. Dang. Okay. Well, that's what's going to happen. So, Bobcuff, that was from a couple months ago. I suspect you're already significantly better than that. Just realize that for your next couple cohorts, it's all going to be about you not hanging stuff and then you taking the free stuff that your opponent gives you. That's what it's going to be about. Okay? So, I think you have a great chess family. I'm looking forward to see your next graduation, which probably be pretty soon. All right, this guy's got a great name, Dr. Sukfangsteiner. Let me say it again, Dr. Sukfangsteiner. I joined the dojo a few weeks ago after seeing the 4.0 blog posts on Lichess. I've tried to learn to play a few times off and on over the years, but fell into doing too many tactics and chessable courses and not playing enough. So the dojo has been great for the discipline of playing and game analysis. My main goals are just to stick to the habits of learning and playing and enjoying the process. Okay. So let's see what's going on. So as you can see, dude just started. He's been doing some tactics here and gained some points. Let's follow him. And clubs. Dojo down under. All right. Games. Let's see. This is all uploads thing is killing me. So this was played pretty recently. Let's check it out. This might be a dojo round robin game. I say that because it was a 30-30. And that is the time thing that we want. Now, as you can see, here's a time graph. And, oh, great. Every time I start the show, I got to just do a little jadoob. Bang. Here's our time graph. We'll see what happened on move 24. But something did. And basically, both sides moving too fast. So White spent the first 18 moves not thinking at all. And then maybe went out for a cup of coffee, or he had to go sit on the pot for a second at move 24. I don't know. We'll find out. All right. So, game review. Weird 92, right? 92 weird. You know, a lot of these players, my impression is like they're trying to be creative or something when they do weird stuff like this. Okay. So let me just stress, learning to develop your pieces is not a hard task, right? It really isn't. And your pawn move e3 already let your light square bishop out. Now you're spending another tempo getting him out the other way. Fine. Black's playing great. Fine, I'd prefer e5. Okay. d5, poor. You're already all set up to play e5. There's no need to play d5. e6, okay. Okay. Oh, you're doing fine, basically. You're doing basically fine. No one's hanging anything. You're centralizing your guys. Bishop c3 is a little weird. You come in. Bishop takes e4 was wrong. Now, let me just stress, why am I going a little fast at this point? From a positional standpoint, all kinds of mistakes have been made. However, I'm not dwelling on those because the way this game will be decided is when somebody hangs something. Let me just say the obvious, both sides could have improved their play by moving slower, but they haven't hung anything yet. Poor move. I don't know what that's terrible. Okay. I don't know what he's doing on knight h6. All right. There it is. Someone hung something. So basically both sides were kind of fooling around, and now white makes the decisive mistake, and it's really kind of game over. Definitely though, EF. Oh, and then now we blunder. We do a big blunder here. He says bishop e5. The really basic way to play, I guess, well, that's a little interesting, honestly, because I was thinking, and I still think this is right, is queen f6, but then he does that to me. Is that a problem? Is that a problem, Mr. Doblin? Boom. It's a little hot. It's a little hot. Here's a funny variation. Bam! Bam! Okay, so let's go back a second. And we're winning this position. There's no doubt about it. We take. He takes. It's surprisingly complicated. Okay, so queen f6 runs into knight d5, and bishop e5, honestly, where it gets a little tricky for me. No, it's simple. It's simple. Just if knight d3, we'll just move our queen. We're totally fine. Yeah, and we just have to watch out that no, like, bishop f4s get us, but we have that move. Okay, so blunder. Now, this is a very scary situation now. Very scary. And g5, well, g5 scares me as well, because you're inviting the knight to come to h5. The most simplistic move for black would be d4 to block off that long diagonal. Cove Bob, thank you for being here. Yeah, I think you guys are doing great. g5, now knight h5 for sure. Dude tries to get fancy with queen d4. We say thank you. White had this big fancy plan, but then just bang. Oh no, it's over. Game over. gf4, that's some Irish pawns. Hopefully the Bobcuff family will appreciate that kind of humor. Might be deemed offensive. That might be deemed offensive. Check. Okay. That wasn't good. So look, we're hanging stuff. We're hanging stuff. The black doesn't have to do anything special. Protect your pawn. Protect your pawn. Yeah, okay, maybe. I don't get that one. Now we have queen g7 check. So the threat is to play queen g7 and then for mate. When we do the annotations, we really want to try to drill down on, different variations. What could one side or the other do? For example, king h3 might be interesting, because then queen g7, queen d8. And if you find nothing else, you could try queen c5. Check to the miserable king. Check to the miserable king. And then he needs to play king g3. King g4 leads to mate. And then here's the variation that I thought was going to happen. Check to the miserable king. Mate. Mate. Okay, so well done. And we want a little bit more on the annotations. And again, at this level, the key thing is going to be hanging stuff. I do feel that for where we are, this position that arose with bishop d4 was kind of hard to handle. And when I say from where we are, I just mean like it was kind of complicated. I had to think about it for a second too. All right, cool. Let's continue. We got M. Shidlovsky. Is that what we're saying? M. Shidlovsky. M. Shidlovsky doesn't say much. Might have just joined the program. Let's see what's going on. We'll give him a follow. Yeah, I think he just joined. So he's up here, 649. No clubs. No games. Okay, so now I think it's M. Shidlovsky. Welcome to the dojo, and we're gonna see you soon, because you'll do the work, and then you'll get up there. Okay. Next up, we have Gibson. First real graduation since working the dojo program. My previous graduation was a result of joining as a free member a few months ago to see what it was all about, but having improved enough on my own prior to starting the dojo regimen to immediately graduate when I became a paid member. When I joined as a free member and started looking around, one of my key hesitations was the long format time controls. As an adult improver with a young child and demanding work hours, I didn't think I'd be able to make that a regular part of my practice regime. But after researching chess improvement more and hearing testimonials about the dojo on various podcasts, I decided to jump in and give it a try about a month ago. Even though I now play fewer games, carving out the time for longer formats has been rewarding. I have only played 3 classicals since joining the program, but I already enjoy having the time to think and calculate. Even though 10-minute rapid or 5-minute blitz without increment were my default practice time controls before the dojo, I now find myself running low on the clock in 15-10 blunder games. I feel like the longer formats have opened my eyes about how to use time in a way I didn't appreciate before, and now I find myself wanting even more time in my games. In a lot of ways, I feel like I was trying to play shorter time controls on autopilot, trusting an intuition I didn't really have yet. Oh, that's really well said. And now that I have changed emphasis to longer formats, I have the time to develop that intuition through deeper thought and calculation. So I'm doing this series on how to make 500, how to make 600, and I think you put it there better than I could. That even if you want to play faster time controls, you're not going to develop the intuition about what to do in a variety of positions without, thinking about it at some point with a longer time control. Okay, beautiful. Let's go check Gibson out here. New York City. Just joined, doing a lot of tactics. All right, 716. Look at that. You joined the dojo, man. Join the dojo. You're going to go way up. All right, let's see if we've got some clubs. Loads of clubs. Habits bras. The habits bras. That is amazing. Okay, so he's done some bunch of tactics works. Let's go look just real quick at his tactics. All right, he's done some of those Polgars, made in twos. And he's achieved the tactics benchmarks. So from a tactical perspective, we should believe that he is already close to 800. Let's look at some of his games. We got 2. This was played recently. It's a 30-0. Let me do something pedantic here. So if I go... Wait, what are you had a pedantic thing you were going to do, Cry? Hold on. I was going to do a pedantic thing. I always mix it up a little bit. But okay, what I'm searching for is even though I helped design this training program, I often forget the time control. So here we go. Here's our time controls. So 800 to 1200 is 30 plus 30. And so if we look, right, he just graduated. So now he is on the requirement of doing 30 plus 30, right? So the stronger you get, the more you're going to want to play longer games, and the dojo round robins reflect that. At 800, you'll be playing 30-30. All right, so here we go. Let's look at the time graph first, and what we want to say is that Gibson very much destroyed his opponent in terms of actual thinking. Could have been a little bit longer as well. Let's just say the obvious. At this level, people are going to be hanging pieces, right? But one of the reasons they're going to be hanging pieces is because they're moving too fast, okay? All right. What's very striking to me now is we're going to get 13 moves where dude is like, it's all prep. Holy moly. So at this level, you should not be that deep in prep. Oh my word. Wow. So this is what he writes. Through this point of the game, this is all opening prep. Since I'm fairly deep into a memorized line from the course, I know I am slightly better in this position. If I evaluate it just on its own merits, we're roughly equal in development, though black has already castled. However, I am also prepared to castle quickly, so less worried about that part. I have slightly better center control from the e5 pawn. Okay, so black's going to go take your coconut. Rook takes b2. Okay, so it's a very tense situation, and you immediately blunder. Now, I want to stress, even for GMs, a lot of times what happens is they memorize some long line. They'll often blunder the second they get out of it. So the first thing we want to say is your move c4 should be criticized just before we even look at any tactics schmactics for two reasons. Most importantly, it gives up a tempo. Second of all, you've increased the scope of the rook. And then third of all, which is maybe the killer, you're allowing knight d3 check. Okay, so very important when you do annotations to look at what you should have done. Now, I want to stress, if I found myself in this situation, I would not at all be certain that I'm better, because white needs a move here. And I don't know what the course would say, but just to my eyes, what looks nice for white is knight a3 with the intention of castling long with a real doozy. So knight a3 holding, let's say rook e8. Bam! Because we need to kick that rook out. That guy needs to go. That guy needs to get out of here. All right? Caps chess, quad, hello. So one of the things I usually yell at people at is by studying the openings, they lose a sense of what development means. And so c4 has dramatic concrete consequences, but the reason we shouldn't be even thinking of c4 is for development reasons. And you learn to develop when you don't do a bunch of theory. Okay, here we go. There will become a time for theory later. Now let's ask ourselves, why did black miss it? Because he was moving too fast. He played that in 13 seconds. Okay. Good. Get that rook out of there. I don't know about knight d3. Okay. So the engine finds bishop e4. Let's just talk about for a second why this is all very loosey-goosey for black, and that is because the back rank problem. So when you take, one of the key things that you need to see tactically is you're not threatening it yet, right? The guy gets a little lucky because of that. Now bishop takes, pawn takes. Now we're still in a little bit of trouble. Good. Here. And now the game is pretty hot. The game is pretty hot. Now, one of the things I want to stress for you guys is, if you watch GMs play this kind of position, they would be thinking forever, because it's complicated, because it's hard. It's not easy. Okay? To give you an example, knight f2. Let's say we take. Obviously, this is running. h5. d6. Maybe I'm just losing. Now, you don't want to play d7 because that's mate. But can white play like g4? And the answer is, I guess so. I guess so. So in this position, we need to really do some deep analysis about what's going on. At the moment, we're up a pawn. But maybe we're just getting hosed because the d6 pawn is so strong. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, rook c1 is definitely not it. And that's not it. Now we're going to push. Now notice, we're controlling this square, so there's no rook d1. Goodbye. Goodbye, and then he's done. Okay, so Gibson, you're doing great. And we want, honestly, it was just one mistake. It was just one mistake with c4. Well, c4 and the bishop e4 thing, right? The bishop e4 thing, let me just stress this in terms of thinking about chess difficulty. The bishop e4 thing is difficult to find, right? I wouldn't be surprised if some GMs miss bishop e4. But c4, that's the crime I want you to focus on. Okay, great. So let's continue here. Boom. That was Gibson. And now we're going to go on. Ben Dawkins is a graduate who is many times a graduate. This graduation happened really quickly, mainly due to moving my preferred rating to USCF, which has me in the next cohort. I wanted to do tasks for this cohort during June before moving on to the next. I will likely stay in this cohort for a while as I'll need about 100 points, and I'm still getting my tournament mindset together. For this cohort, I really enjoyed the middle game and end game sparring. My friends and I had an absolute ball sparring these positions, and I feel a big difference in my thought processes in both of those phases. I've noticed that I haven't had any blank-minded, I don't know what to do moments in my game since I've been drilling this material. Main and twos are a stunning course of study. I'm finding that my vision of which squares are controlled and which aren't is improving every time I work on these. Great. I also find the easiest way to visualize those squares is on a physical board. I do too. Is this what getting a grip on the board means? Yes, it does. Finally, in this cohort, I wanted to make another quality of life improvement to my chess, so I've gotten a dojo coach, Luke, from the 19 to 2000 cohort. Oh, this is great. His prices are great, so it seemed like a great investment while I have a lot of extra time off for this summer. The main thing we have been focusing on is improving the quality of my annotations and seeing more out of my games. If I'm not seeing it in analysis, I won't see it in a game. I believe that firmly. Plus, he is giving me very basic positional ideas that I've heard of before but never really processed properly. Big kudos to Luke. So it's really cool. Luke is this young kid who has graduated numerous times. And he asked me about becoming a coach. And I was like, yeah, we want somebody who's like a homegrown dojo talent to start doing stuff. And, it's a little bit of a chance because I don't know Luke. I haven't seen him teaching or anything. Uh-oh. We got a house on fire behind me. Oh, man. It's just an ambulance, buddy. I'm moving. I'm moving, man. I can't take it. He's on fire over there. He's literally a fire department. But, these ambulances, why are you even stopping at the light, buddy? You don't need to stop. You're an ambulance. Okay. Anyways, like I said, we didn't have any sense of could he teach, I just had a good sense based on the work ethic I saw in the dojo. And I was like, right, this is the kind of person we want doing coaching And like all kids who start coaching, he's doing the right thing. He's starting with a very reasonable rate. I think it's like 10 euros an hour or something. And I told him, yeah, that's fine. But then, eventually raise your rates. Okay. So the game played on 624. Maybe we'll look at that one. So here's Ben C. Dawkins. Boom. The end of, yeah. Yes, no's, I totally agree. So here we go. Look at Ben, dude. Look at that. So this guy's a monster. How come it's not really on there? Huh? How come we don't get to see all of Ben? How come we lost a little Ben? Oh, come on. All right, here we go. Ben, come back. There we go. Ben, come back. No, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So that's a lot of tactics, dude. That is a lot of tactics. All right, let's go flick around here. Oh, yeah, South Carolina. I remember that. And then training plan. Let's just go look what he's got here, tactics. So I got to always hit the show completed tasks. Crushing the mate in twos. Great. And he's slayed the benchmarks for Puzzle Rush and Survival. So that looks great. And he's doing some extracurricular activities. Endgame, he needs to do some more. Needs to get in here. Okay. Let's go games. My classical games. Okay. No rows. All uploads. Now, I think he mentioned the 24th, and I think that's the one he wants us to do. So, let's go Nathan Ortiz, 45 plus 5. We got a time graph. And as is our aspiration, the dojo player used their time significantly better than the opponent. All right. Eric Blair is present for class. E5, little weird. Boom. Okay. Yeah, and it's really cool, too, that he just thinks about it for a little bit. Black has a little bit of compensation because of the extra pawn. Because of the development, excuse me. Good move. Great. Nope, that ain't it. That ain't it. Oh, bang. Thank you very much. Sure, let's trade some stuff off. Bang. Oh, just beautiful chess. Yeah, simple and beautiful. Let's take that one too. Oh, I wanted you to take it. Okay, it's hard to complain at this point though, because we're crushing him so bad. That wasn't it. Thank you. Good. Check to the miserable king. Ooh. Oh man, he's working. He's working. Oh man, this is brutal. Oh, look at all these people. Look. Oh, okay, there we want to say you could have played queen takes d5. Okay, that's just so smooth, Ben. So smooth. All right. Oh, he's not going to resign. He's just going to keep playing and playing. Checkmate. So Ben, what was great? I mean, it was great for a number of reasons. I love the time management. Obviously, one of this is what it should look like. And what I mean by that is the people at this level that you're going to be playing, they're going to be hanging stuff. They're just going to be hanging stuff. And you just got to, until you get to 1,000, in Dojo Cohort 1,000, you should really just be focused on how can I take this dude's stuff? Because that's what it's going to be. Ben is in the chat. Ben, this is a great step. Great step. Yeah. if anything, maybe we could say we needed a more competitive game, you know. But besides not taking on d5 in that one position, that was just a class move. I love that you thought for a minute and some here on this thing, on de6. Yeah, really good. Yeah, oh, that was beautiful, Ben. So, Ben, I think you're going to graduate again soon, unless we play like that. You know, play like that, it's all over. Next up, we got Lay Squirrel Sack. I think Squirrel Sack has been graduating all the time. And look at that. They're flying up there, but they don't actually do anything. He's in the German dojo. At least, yeah, there's no games, however. So we don't know anything about what's going on with Squirrel Sack. I just come here every week. He graduates, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, so let's get out of here. Bang, bang. Next up, we have Thilo Eichhorn. That's a pretty cool name. Hey, everyone. After taking a break, bought and renovated an apartment. I jumped back into the fray last month with an OTB and scored 5 out of 9 in my rating group. Now I'm working on theory and trying to get more online chess going. That caused my online rating to jumpstart into new heights. I don't want to skip cohorts, though, because learning the basics and building a solid foundation matters more to me than my online rating. Next week, I'm playing another OTB with 1 match per day after work. So, ready for review with annotated games. Beautiful. So, Vienna. Lovely. I have a really fond memory of maybe 2003 or something. And I was in this chess cafe. And, you know, by 2003, you couldn't smoke inside in America. But there, it was like you couldn't even see. You couldn't even see. The smoke was so thick, dude. I assume they don't allow it there anymore either. But it's totally thick. Cigars and stuff. It's this back room. And I was playing all kinds of people there for hours and hours. And it was just a beautiful experience. Okay, so now as you can see, dude he doesn't want to skip cohorts. Here's his Austrian rating. All right, so clearly we're going to see him again. Okay, clubs. Do we have a Vienna dojo? We do. Thank you, Thilo, for making that. You know, maybe we'll get an Austrian dojo going on soon too. I'm going to just assume that Thilo, he has to be. Yeah, there's no other way. He has to be the Vienna dojo person. Okay, as you can see, working pretty good. And let's see if we get a game here. Did he say it was a particular game? I forget already. Oh, ready for review. There we go. Ready for review. Okay. Now he's playing like a pretty high-rated player in this first one. Now, noticed, I think I'm interested in this. Oh, no, we don't want some GM. We don't want a GM, buddy. All right. So notice they're not really organized by date. This is the most recent one. By the way, if I'm about to cover your game and you're in the chat or something, you can let me know. And I will cover that game. JW. Well, good afternoon, too. All right, let's just click on this one. Bang. So do we got times? Ooh, we do. Look at this amazing time graph. Wow. So Thilo really used his time well there. That's inspirational. Okay. Go over here. So far, so good. Bishop B4. Okay, now, Thilo's doing some fancy stuff, and my memory of this position is like, there's all kinds of things. But Bishop D3 is mentioned, and I think that might be a line to allowing Knight E4. All right, so no bueno. Bang, good move. And now black is in full control. E5, I don't know. A3 looks poor. So, question, why can't we take the pawn on E5? To my eyes, it looks like you can. So, for example, snip, snap, knight E5. Perhaps you were concerned about bishop D4, but here you could play either the very ambitious queen G5 or the simple F6. All right, so A3, bishop A5. Good. I don't like B4. He's not developing. He needs to play F4. AB. Okay. Queen B6 looks devastating. Now notice, with Queen B6, we just want to create some threats. Now we have this threat and this threat. And it's already pretty rough. If F4, check to the miserable king. And then, we're doing amazing. Maybe A5 now. All right, AB, we are developing the rook. Okay, now, you give this a question mark. I agree, I don't like it much. The reason being that if you just castle, if you want to play bishop A6, castle first, he's going to probably move the bishop anyway, and then you play bishop A6. This helps white develop. Poor move. What's going on? They're not developing. Right? Not developing. Well, he needs to play F4, knows, because he needs to hold his coconut. That's why he's got to play F4. All right. Now, here we want to open the position, so we don't want H6. The thing we should think about here is activating our rook, and so a move like F6, he's going to be blown wide open. Into the great wide open. No, he's done. He's done. There's nothing. F6, finito de la comedia. Very important to see that F6 is a developing move. All right, H6. This guy's out. You're going to get this all the time. They don't know how to develop. F6, please. Oh, nice move. Okay. I'd rather move the rook than do that B5, but okay. Queen G5. Oh, simple and strong. That ain't it. Bang. Oh, you have embarrassment of riches now. So here you thought for a little bit and played Queen F4. You've got a lot of good moves here. Muchos good movos. Queen G4 is probably the most basic. All right. No one knows. Good move. Good move. And then we missed rook G1. He's still missing it, though. Why is he missing it? Because he's moving too fast. Yep, moving too fast. Great. Tilo, that was a good game. And for the annotations, I would want to see a little... Oh, look, this is a really cool thing about the dojo. He has somebody helping him look over the games, and this is Gabriel making some suggestions. Our dev team is awesome. A little picture of the dude, He's talking about this move, knight DB5. That's the more standard thing, right? Okay, genius. Nice. The other guy is the opponent. Very good. And I'm assuming that the naughty later is Tilo aus Wien. Okay, good. So well done. And let's continue. Next up, we have Tristan. Oh, Tristan just graduated. Oh, yeah. I was going to say he's graduating all the time, but he's just working his way through the material. So we're going to skip Tristan. And now we got Adam. Ba-boom. And Adam's doing some pretty good work here. And 1006, you can see he's playing a lot by the movement of these little jumps. back and forth. And it's looking good. If we go clubs, oh, Bay Area, the home of the dojo. And activity, looking good. Games. This all up level things has to be changed. Jack! Jack, it has to be changed. Okay, now the most recent game is a 30-0, but at this level we really want the 30-0. 30-30, excuse me. So we're going to do this one, even though it's been a couple months since this was played. First, did I do it? I haven't done it yet. Let's go here. Very nice use of time. Very nice use of time. Yeah. Now, this one is a rare example of somebody who's arguably using too much, and I would much rather see using too much than being on the other side of that green line. Okay, so let's get into it. Fine. Little weird. Okay. Now, your bishop didn't need an escape square, so I'd rather you just develop. Okay. Okay. Why don't I like it? Because it's not developing. Okay, so basic things here. In my course that I did, they called it Mastering Time in Chess. I didn't like the title, but that was what Chessables did. I showed all these dojo games where somebody lost a tempo, like this, Bishop G5. And the point was that in general, when they lose the tempo, which your opponents at this level are going to do a lot, that when they do it, that's our opportunity for something tactical or a way to improve our position, right? And so here, great example, bam, bam, check to the miserable king. Knight b7, knight d2. It's still available, bishop h. Oh, now he finds it. Now he finds it. Okay, good. And now we're in trouble, of course. All right, knight f4. Knight f3. Queen h4, obviously a mistake because it's allowing knight f3, which white wants to do with tempo anyway. If he wants to play the queen to the h file, then queen h6. So, loss of time. All right. It's looking grim. There's no doubt about it. Okay. All right. Will we be able to hold the storm off? All right, knight h2. Okay, he has other options as well. That looks kind of frisky from my end. Maybe. No, I don't like it. I guess I would prefer something like knight f6. So, bishop e4. Okay, you guys, listen up. Very complicated position. I get why white got into time pressure, but here's where we need to slow it down in the annotations at least and think about other moves. Because you're about to lose some coconuts here in the variation that we get. And like you could just play here, here, and then something like this. And you're worse, no doubt, but you're not dead. Queen g4. Okay, so black needs a good move. They play f3. I don't know. I don't know about f3. Now, to be fair, this is actually, to be fair, this is pretty complicated. Because f3 isn't it. Because we can just play queen takes e4, thank you very much. Thank you for playing. Well, black just lost all of his advantage. So I think FE is called for. He goes, you go here. Snip, snap, snook, snark. And now it's just going to be very unpleasant. He really did give you the opportunity, though, to get out of that bind with queen takes e4. So rook f5 looks like a mistake because it's allowing just g4 move. This move, that looks evil, you know? That looks evil. If you imagine king g1, knight g4. And like if you move the knight, I snip and then I snap. Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, so rook f5. Notice loss of time. Now you're kind of back in the game with after g4. Because now you have king g3. Thank you very much. Okay, and now you're back in the game. You're fully back in the game with knight f4 or something. Okay. Now rook h6. You could also play g5. g5 would allow you to win the pawn on e6. Right? Bang. King f4, please. Very good. Thank you. And now you're the one. You're the one in charge, friend. All right, h4. King f4. Bang, good move. Simple chess. Check to the miserable king. Okay. Pretty good game from Sonship Train. There were some crimes, of course, and they were mostly about development. So when I preach about development, for example, I don't want you to be, the idea would be you don't have to be a genius to think about what to do in this position. You just think to yourself, what are the candidate moves? Knight f3, bishop e2, bishop d3. Knight d2 is weird, but it's playable. Here, weird, but playable. This one, it's not the end of the world, but it is allowing him to kind of do something he wants to do. And then our bishop here is kind of funky. And then again here, we're losing a tempo. Okay. So, Oscar Chess says, nice comeback. Absolutely. All right, well done. That was Sonship Train on their second graduation. Oh, and you know what I think? I think I didn't have the right frame there. So if I blew it, I blew it. No one told me, though. No one was in the chat saying, Cry, you need to switch the scene. I guess you can kind of see, I can see it on the YouTube, but it's not too bad. Next up, we have Jimmy Lays. I'm glad to have graduated. It's been a rocky road with illness, affecting me more than I would like to admit. So I have implemented a strict routine, only one 15-10 game per day maximum to stop me tilt spamming games and bombing my rating. Really like logical chess move by move. It's not as E4 centric as Book of Morphy. Learn chess the right way is pretty infantile until about halfway, then it gets interesting. Arranging games for dojo round robins is a real pain, especially when there's no guarantee of a post-mortem, after which is why I'm sticking with Lead Chess 45-45 for the moment. Would like to request a similar team-based thing for the dojo, but with active players only, and a request for some automated game organizing solution like the Slack thing 45-45 has going on. Interesting. Let me just say this about our round robins. Our round robins are pretty new, right? They're a pretty new thing. And I feel like they're working, for the most part, really great. But there's a little bit of things not getting ironed out. In particular, what we kind of need to do is, after people, the thing that's really hurting them is there's some people who sign up and then don't do it. So we're developing processes for getting rid of those people. I mean, like, you got to go. You can't play again unless you pay us money or something, But these other ways of playing are interesting too. I didn't know about the Slack thing, for example. All right. So, don't blunder. All right. Been doing a lot of work over here, Jimmy Lays. Lots of middle games and strategy. Okay, this looks good. And 1011. That's a dojo graph right there, my friend. That's a dojo graph. I want to maybe just go look real quick at the middle games and strategy he's doing. Beautiful. Well, that's great. So, Sometimes I do clubs just to see where they're in Europe somewhere. UK, okay. Sometimes I'm confused. I think Europe, I think the continent, but then it's UK. Okay, do we got some games, Jimmy Lays? Boom. All right, so here we go. He's been playing these 45-45s. Let's give that a shot. Bang. Here's our time graph. And we blew it. We blew it by moving way too fast. Oh, it's always sad to see when the dojo player is the criminal. Okay. Yeah, pineapple. I think, there'll always be somebody who doesn't show up. But what I'm imagining is after we get our protocol started, they're just going to be shunted out. Like if you didn't play in the previous thing, you have to pay a fine or something. And I think I wanted a really stiff one. And my boys at the dojo were like, oh, be nice. Could make it like $10 or something, I was like, there needs to be pain. There needs to be pain before you do play again. Jimmy Lace apologizes for the time graph. Okay, good. So here we go. So far, so good. Fine. E6, that looks like a blunder to me. 95. And, right, good move. It's not a bad, it's not something you should be concerned about if it's with a threat. And you have a big old threat here. Knight d7, and now a crime against humanity. Knight takes d7. Okay, so Jimmy Lays does spend a minute, almost 2 minutes doing this. Let's just see what he says. I calculated knight c6 and saw I drop a pawn on b2. This doesn't win material unless he makes a mistake, but I can at least do a doubling of pawns. I don't understand at all. Jimmy, first of all, you can take with either piece and win the pawn. So bang, 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 rook b8. You've won a pieshka, a pawn. So b3, and I would say here you can stop. You can stop. You don't need to go any further. You've won the pawn, and things are great. Also here you could stop. Queen c1 if you wanted to. The bishop, it's not just a pawn, too. This bishop's amazing. Yeah. Okay, now, also what we want to say is knight d7 is poor because you are developing black's queen. I don't want to develop black's queen. Right? No, I don't want to do it. All right, Alex, good to see you. Okay, so knight d7. We develop black's queen. c4, okay. Now notice we're a little bit down on time now. With tempo. Good move from black. Good move for queen a4. It's at least challenging. Snippos, hippos, crippos, snippos. Good. And now zap. All right, black has a big decision. He decides endgame. And now we're going to get a test of your chess skill. In this position, did you castle? As a big test of your skill. I don't want you to have castled. Honestly, your position will still be better if you do castle, but it's just a horrendous mistake because you will be undeveloping your king. What's the right move? Almost certainly knight a4, but you could also start with king d2. Right? And that's a known bad business right there. Positionally lost. So, castles, rook b8. All right, so now it's going to be complicated because the king is away from the people. Now, I don't know quite what they're intending here with rook b8. It's still a difficult situation for black. Okay, rook b8's a natural move. But the bummer is for black, like, there's so little play. There's so little play. All right. One thing that's interesting to me is I think on a, let's call it a GM level, sacrificing the pawn isn't dumb. because then he can't get his knight to that square. And then maybe I play here, 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 and I hope to survive. You know, at least then I punched open the board a little bit. Okay, so bishop d3. Simple chess. Simple chess, okay. I think that's reasonable. Now, it's controversial because now you're going to have to defend the pawn on b3. So what is your main problem? Your king. Wouldn't it be cool if your king were here? Wouldn't that be cool? So probably rook c3, intending f3. Yeah, something like that. Okay. f3 now. I don't know if I get that move, but okay. So he let your king out, fine. I'm getting a little fancy, I don't know. I don't know about knight d7. Honestly, your position's so massive with the bad bishop and the weak pawns. Yeah. Now you're, thank you for the pawn, I guess, right? King g1. What are we doing? My plan is to play rook a6. But look, this isn't again about development. Your king wants to be active. If you're worried about bishop d3, play king e2. All right, a little bit of randomness happening, but you're totally in control. A little lucky we're not mated, I guess. No one knows what he's doing. Thank you very much. All right. I think this is a mop-up operation. Check to the miserable... What? Oh, no. Oh, he really blew it here. All he has to do is play rook c8. Now, can we return to why this happened? Because he moved too fast. That's why it happened. We can talk about mistakes and blah blahs and all this other stuff, but if he had slowed himself down, this would not have happened. Okay, so are we still winning? I guess. I guess we're still winning. Rook e8 didn't help him. This seems weird to give him the f pawn. Don't we want to play here? Now we don't know what's going on anymore. Now the world is a little confused. There's a lot of pawns hanging. Play e4, bud. You play e4. No one knows what black's last move did. Good. Maybe. Thank you. That makes our life a little simpler. Very good. Finally, he resigns. Woo! I'm glad we got out of that one. Dang. Okay. So, let's say some obvious things. Jimmy Lays is making great progress. The rating is going up just extreme. At some point, it's going to get harder, obviously, right? And one of the nice things that I think I see with Jimmy is if he can slow down, well, well, I don't know how many 100 points it is, but it's definitely worth more than 100 points. I mean, over here, it'd be like, move slower. That's what I want to see right here. Move slower. All right, well done, Jimmy. Next up, we have Sarensen. First graduation in the dojo, enjoying the materials and training in dojo currently. Recently, completely flunked the checkmate test. Shows that to improve my board vision and do more mate in two. Yeah, okay. Jimmy says he'll be an FM or an IM if he slows down. We're going to follow. This is from Malaysia. Doing a lot of tactics. Took a break in April and May. Huge gains over here. Huge gains. Now, Sarensen, look, buddy, I think you should put yourself into a higher cohort. You just body slammed it up there. It just happened to, I don't know. All right, so let's take a look here. Got Asian dojo, Malaysian dojo. I think this Sarensen did me a favor because I'm always yelling at the Asian dojo people. I'm like, listen, that's too vague. So we got a Malaysian dojo now, and it's got to be our guy because there's only one member. All right, let's see if we can get a game from Sarensen. All right, so this is a 30-30, maybe a dojo game. And let's see, we got some times. Whoa, some interesting time graph. So I guess something really complicated happened between moves 10 and 18. That's what it looks like to me. Both are thinking, and then, and then they kind of stop thinking at the end. We'll see how what's going on there. Okay, interesting. Mark that as reviewed. First round robin game in the dojo. Good chess so far. Yeah. So it's not terrible. But now your center is going to be a little fragile after this move. And I think you're right. Bishop b6 was good. Now, I'd be very concerned about bishop g4 here. D5. Now the bummer, let's talk about the various bummers involved with d5. Like maybe you have no choice, but the various bummers here are that you just blocked your own bishop and you opened his bishop. Okay. Okay. Now, queen e5 has to be okay. Black, by the way, black is just much better here because the bishop is so powerful. But black was going to have to play it well. Rook fe8, and he talks about f5. One thing about rook fe8 is it shows or suggests that black hasn't pondered yet the possibility of f5, right? Because otherwise you'd keep your rook there. You could also play rook ae8 first and then follow with f5. Okay, see now it's kind of a bummer, right? We're still better. Bishop d4, that looks superficial. He says playing to win the e4 pawn. Okay, this can't be right because what we're doing here is we're opening our coconuts like to the c7 square. So even if rook ae1 or rook fe1 doesn't work, like knight b5 is going to be annoying at the very least. So rook ae1, and this might really be a good move here, a6. So what happened really is while white was thinking about rook ae1, black was like, oh, I see it now. I see it. I'm not going to allow that stuff. All right. I think king h1 is an interesting move. Queen d2 is also an interesting move. Okay. Queen f4. Now, one bummer for black here is that we can't win the battle of the dark squares on the king side because he's always got g3. So he plays f3. I think that's probably okay. I was thinking queen d3 with just guarding the f3 square, but f3 also guards it. So this is superficial. Thank you very much. And now we can play f4 now if we want. He builds the position king g2. Rook e7, and now rook d1. Now remember what I said. They were kind of thinking for a while, so those some good thinks they had going on here. Rook d1 doesn't make any sense. f4 is the right move. And the big point would be if bishop d4, we really want to look at e5. Pop, pop with a full explosion over here. Yeah, so this rook d1, it's hard to say what it does. Okay, good move. Now f4 is prevented. Why are we taking it? We work so hard. We work so hard. So queen c3, rook e5 blunder. So even after we make, the 1,000 berry, we're still going to hang some coconuts sometimes. And that's a big one because now the queen gets entrance, the d6 pawn's weak, all this stuff. All right, so now we're in big trouble. Well, by the way, Penrose, actually, let me take it back. Penrose's in big trouble. Saracen's doing fine. Might as well try to do something fancy like that. Okay, good. I don't know what that does. Black should try to arrange some kind of counterplay. And, with g4. Maybe even g4 now. You're in trouble no matter what, but just imagine here we have a little bit of questions we're asking when that goes down. So rook d7 passive. Oh, and now rook c8. Oh, he misses rook c8. Now, let me just tell you something. If you had thought longer than 10 seconds, maybe you'd find it. You are winning this position. Good move. Good move. Poor move. Now, you're still winning here, but yes, of course you want to play rook f7. Look at those things. Look at those pigs on the 7th, baby. Come on now. Rook c2, king h3. Did not visualize the continuation of the attack. Okay, let's look at what his notes say. Good move. Good move. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Very nice. You're still winning here, though. A little strange not to take on a6. Can I ask just a question? Yeah, he hung his rook. People still hanging stuff. People hanging things. Oh, it's a yard sale over here. Oh, he lets you go into the king and pawn endgame. All right, well done. So let's just think about this for a second. If we go back, we're in the 1,000 to 1,100 cohort, right? And what I want you guys to see is the hanging of stuff doesn't necessarily go away, right? It gets a lot less. I feel like for years I've kind of had it in my head that 1,000 was the spot where you see a lot less hanging of stuff. It's not totally true though, right? It's not totally true. Okay, well done. Someday I'm gonna go to Malaysia. Keep the mind sharp. I think they might have just joined. Maybe they got nothing. We'll see. So 11:53. Oh, we're already following. This is one of these people that are in here. 50 plus. Oh, maybe he's got some games. Nothing. So he's already graduated numerous times. He's in the 50 plus. No one knows what's going on with him. Maybe he's just enjoying seeing his progress go up so amazingly. Cry, you're in the wrong little template. Jalp. Jalp is in the YouTube chat. It's good to hear from Jalp. Jalp, he's a young man with a lot of ambition. He's got things going on. He helped us out a lot at the dojo. Maybe he still will, but at the moment, he's doing a lot of different things. All right, graduation was fast. It took 3 weeks to graduate once I joined the dojo training program. Still, I need to complete all the tasks from this cohort to cover up any holes in my basics. Something tells me next cohort will be a challenge for me to graduate. Okay. Here's Moonibun. Electrical engineering. Okay. Now, as you can see, he's done all kinds of things, and he's doing some non-dojo stuff. He's doing some non-dojo. All right, let's go just see what he's doing. Let's just go check it out. So he's pinned all kinds of stuff. Wow, he's pinned loads of stuff. So one of the things you can do with the training program now is you can design your own program, right? And let's say I hit weekly, for example. Just had an idea. Now, sometimes people get mad at me in chat when I have an idea and I write it down. They're like, "Cry, you're doing a string." What? What are you doing? This was an idea that Kostya had years ago. But the basic idea was like, let's say you got somebody like this who's got a sense of what they want to do. They're like, dojo training program, that's cool, but I got my own thing, right? Well, for that person, wouldn't it be cool? Like, let's say he decided this is what his training plan wanted to be. Then we could create the algo. We could have the algo digest this and then, give it to him, as a training plan. Just a thought. I'm putting on our long list of things to do. Our to-do list, dude. Oh, it's so long. So long. Pike and Apple, as so far as I know, there's not a list for a task for playing blindfold games. We've talked about it a little bit. We did a great podcast about aphantasia. I thought that was one of our best. David has aphantasia. I definitely have at least mild aphantasia. And there we were talking about blindfold. I thought David was more of a proselytizer when it came to blindfold, but he's not that into it. It's not a terrible thing. All right, here we go. We're going to look at the time graph first. Moonibun did way better than his opponent, who gets a 0 rating. No time spent, 0 rating for you, buddy. So I'm just praying that we won this thing. Moonibun is also moving definitely a little too fast here. All right, here we go. Game review. This is 1 hour plus 30. His opponent spent basically none of that time. So far, you're so good. C3, a little weird. Fine. Great. You're doing great. 92, weird. Why not develop your bishop first? C8, I'd rather get you castle, but okay. B4, a little weird. Okay. So, A6. I played this to stop him from playing B5 and kicking my knight. Even though he was behind development, he was pushing his pawns and playing super fast. At this point, I started to realize I was playing super fast as well, so it came to my head that if I keep my cool and play slow, I have a chance. Okay, I like this. Now, just think about this B4. Is it meaningful? No, he's not doing anything over there. What does Cry want you to do? You don't even have to think long about it, because we know what Cry wants you to do. He wants you to castle. Hi, Nikki. Right? This is why we don't want to even study openings. We just want you to see it. Like, of course I wanted to castle. Last move, too. All right. B5 is a disaster for him. It opens the knight onto this square, opens the rook. Oh, my lord. Weird. Thank you. C4. Okay, could have done that in one move. All right, so now we're going to get an isolated queen pawn situation. Pop. Okay. Now you got a lot of different moves. I like knight d5. What'd you do? Bishop c7. I like it less. Because bishop g5 is a little bit annoying. All right, b5, I don't know. He plays knight a5, and I can tell you right away that isn't it. Would he have maybe found a better move if he hadn't been playing so fast? Now, I don't know what the eval is after knight e3, but that's got to be the move. Okay. Thank you for the pawn. Boom, boom, boom. Well, that's not going to help you, son. Bishop b6. Now, in general, we want to trade stuff when we got the isolated pawn. Also, we just want to conserve tempo anyways. So bishop d2, queen d2, put the lady here, put the rook here. Excuse me, put the rook here, put the other one here. We're cruising, baby. We're cruising. Okay, bishop b6. Little too fast. Something I want to stress is, and this is great that he sees it in his notes, is when they play too fast, we can become tempted to play too fast ourselves. And that's really what we don't want, right? Queen d5, great move. Rook fc8 or d8, fine. That's not it. You're doing great. That's not it. Check to the miserable queen. Now, you got plenty of time here, and I just want to give you a sense of like maybe the questions I would want to be asking here. So I would want to ask, can I play e5? Right? DE is out. If knight e5, I go here, and then the brutal point of this is that after he moves the queen, I'm going to take here. Now, maybe I can take the knight too. We'll talk about that. Like maybe queen e1 to hold on to the knight. But then I go here, bang! But then I go check. Got him. Right? That's the kind of thing that if you... Now, I'm not saying you're necessarily going to find that. I'm just saying, hey, if you slow it down, that's the kind of thing you might find. Good move. Okay. That's simple chess. Uh-oh, did we miss that? We're doing fine. No, it's just a yard sale over here. Simple chess, rook c5. I like queen c5 better, but it's all the same thing. Yeah. Good. Well, you're really in control here. Good chess. Queen b1. Uh-oh. Now, that's dangerous. That's just unnecessarily dangerous here. Queen c5. Queen c1. Check. g3. Well, I suppose we're just winning this here. And he didn't resign? Okay. So, let's return. When you play these people, I totally get it. It feels like they know what they're doing. They don't know. They don't know. Right? They're unable to think. And, right, we don't want to fall into that same trap. Okay, let's go back. Grad show, ba-boom. Next up, we have true. True has been playing a lot of games, right? It's interesting, it's interesting. He joined the dojo back in 23, but presumably rejoined. And I'm really hoping a lot of people come back. When we had to 23, the dojo just looked, it was a different beast. It was just a site. It's hard to even imagine the site we had in 23. Totally different world. All right, so he's done a lot of games. Let's hopefully we get some games. Let's go all uploads. And he's got a lot of 60 O's. This is great. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Okay. This is what I like to see. Look at that. Look at that time usage by our guy. Look at that thing. Playing some chump who doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, I love it. That's what I want to see. Look at that thing. That's pure. That's pure right there. All right. Game review. So, testing Benko. Generally, if you play the Benko, you play knight f6 first. This is kind of a fancy opening. Where are you at here? You're now in the 1100. So this is you've heard it before. I'm telling you not to study the openings. All right. So generally knight f6 now for the Benko. c4. e6. That's not the Benko. e4. Snip, snap. Knight f6. Okay. Bishop d3 is a good move here for white. Okay. Bishop e2. So the problem was that by playing bishop g5, then if bishop d3, there's a check on e8. And bishop e2 just doesn't want to be there. That's just not where he wants to be. Okay. So now, a reasonable plan for black would be something like h6, and if he goes back, maybe something like this, with the intention of playing knight e4 someday, right? Knight d7, it's a developing move, probably can't be that bad. Okay, h3, and now you play queen a5, trying to force b5. Okay, what's the issue? Well, when you play h6, he's going to have bishop f4. You have a little less space, and you need to fix this dude. And so the basic move would be rook e8, intending knight e5. Right? Simple chess. Okay, so now you play knight e5, and probably queen c7 is what you need to do. But this will be kind of interesting. This at least gives white something to think about. In general, the wisdom of the ancients is that that pawn structure is pretty good for white after knight takes e5. It's not the end of the world, though. Good. I like that you're developing. I think I like bishop h2 more. Okay. Now, question time. What should we do? I don't think we want to play b5. Let's see what you write. Now that he surprisingly moved his light square bishop, I thought my old plan works. Now, I want to stress, it's not just a tactic you're missing. The tactic he's talking about is d6, winning the rook, or the exchange, rather. But also, think about it this way. You've been obsessed about b5 for a while, and if the pawn were here, it would be maybe a little bit more interesting. But think about it. What you're doing here is you're, like this rook, I don't know, not the greatest rook ever, but the second you open him, now he's a force, right? Okay, white. By the way, why did white miss it? We know why, because he wasn't thinking. He just instantly moved, 2 seconds. b4. Snip, snap. a5. Now notice, people are blundering d6 until he finally sees it, okay? Takes, and black says that this is now a clear advantage to white. It's probably winning after bishop e3. Does he find it? Unfortunately, he does. And now queen d5. He okay, fine. Now, boom. And now white plays this in 7 seconds. Now let me just stress, we have ourselves a kind of complicated situation. This might be the moment. This might be the moment to slow it down. All right, gh3 is the obvious one, basically winning on the spot. Queen d5. I don't know. Rook d8. Queen f3. Well, we're not going to resign if he's going to play moves like that. Bishop g2. Boom. All right. Now, rook cd1. The bummer for us is if we could find a way to keep one rook on the board, we'd really like that. We really don't want him to get the files. Unfortunately, we still got a problem. All right, rook d4, boom. I think you probably need, I don't know. It's bad news either way. Because here you're allowing rook e8 check. He misses it. Okay, maybe this is still a good move. Boom, boom. The rook is really, he's just a beast, dude. He's a beast. All right. And now you play d3 and says, strange move where I was guilty of just picking a new candidate. Was the mobile. Okay. A lot of stuff, we're lost here. It doesn't matter. He can play king f1. He's going to come collect all our people. All our people are going to fall. So honestly, I understand. I have sympathy. It sets a trap. Maybe he's playing so fast, maybe he will play rook c5. Check to the miserable king. Okay. Maybe we'll review a little bit. The opening, first of all, the Benko is a complicated thing for a variety of reasons. Second of all, only now, after you've graduated, are you allowed to do a little bit of opening work. You don't need to go crazy with it, though. I think it was great that you looked at rook e8. I like it. You can also, like I said, you can knight d7. You can follow it up with a later rook e8. One thing I would be interested in is when we got to this ending, to try to assess what we think about it. So, for example, rook cd1. Are we lost? I think we might be lost, but it would be interesting to kind of look deeper into it and see if we could come up with ways of not being lost. So, for example, here, I think queen takes is mandatory. We're holding the file at least for a second. If queen a8, which maybe was your fear, well, he's already in a little bit of trouble if that goes down, right? He can't do it. So I don't know, maybe queen f3 or something. Makes sense. And rook d1 is definitely a hassle in the castle, as they say. It's a hassle in the castle. So we'd want to investigate this position and be like, well, can I find something here? You got a lot of things going on, honestly. Queen b2, it might be kind of annoying. Okay, well done. And by the way, you're just getting experience. What is it like? What kind of positions are won and lost when I'm down the exchange, right? Oh, man. So, we never want to lose to somebody playing that fast. We just never want to do it. Yeah. Okay. Well done. Here we go. Next up, we have Yario. Maybe. Very happy to move up. Hung out in this cohort group for a while. Time to put in some time in for some new activities in order to move up to 1200. As you can see, he has done a lot of work. In Edmonton. Nice, dude. Okay. I've played at the Edmonton Chess Club many times. It's been a while, unfortunately. But I played a lot of like invitational tournaments there. I know the guys up there pretty well. So really cool club up there in Edmonton. I've been there at Christmas time. Deep, a kind of cold that American weenies, I don't know if we've ever felt. I'm telling you, some deep cold, my friends. Some like deep cold. All right, we got some clubs. Now, we got the Alberta Chess Club. Maybe we'll get an Edmonton Chess Club. One of the things the Edmontoners taught me to say is they taught me to say, Calgary sucks. That's what they taught me to say. They were very intent on that. All right. So we got some activities. He did loads. Now let's look at the rating real quick. So definitely a nice little slog on his second graduation. Working hard at it. And there's his Canadian rating, which is much higher. Probably, obviously, playing less, but that Edmonton club, there's got a lot of chances for him to play. Okay, clubs. Oh, I just did that, Cry. I'm losing it. These are rated OTB games. Master games to analyze. Let's look at just what happens over here. No, these are older. Let's see all uploads. Oh, here we got a nice 90-30. Let's go check this one out. Boom, boom. Do we got a time graph? Oh, we do. Look at this one. What's cool about this one is he put in the times manually, which I know takes a little work, but I say it's cool because I think it'll really help you understand the game, and me, when we see this time graph like this. So you're playing somebody who is not able to think, but you call him a KG opponent, which he might well be. All right, here we go against the KG opponent. So, fine so far. My opponent puts me in spots where I'm uncomfortable. And you think here for 4.5 minutes. I don't think knight f3 is wrong. I think knight b5 is a lot more natural, though. Poor move. Or at least not the greatest move, h6. Not developing. Bishop b4. Should be said bishop b4 is controversial because we really don't want to exchange that bishop. At least I don't think. Now you do queen c2, and now he comes at you with a little trick with knight d4. Maybe annoying. Okay. Is it though? Wait a second. Knight d4. So here, I think he tricked himself and you at the same time. For a second, he tricked me too, because I just believed him. Maybe you believed him too. So, you didn't mark down the time here. But knight d4 is obviously playing with the tricky idea that if you take, this thing is a pin and win. Now we got to say a couple things. First of all, knight d4 wasn't a developing move. So we should be suspicious of it anyway. The next thing is a tactic. Bang! No, it didn't work. We win his pawn. Thank you very much. That guy's gone. Now, also it should be said that before we move the queen to queen d3, we should also consider this one. A little weird. But we could consider this one too. All right, queen d3. It's not so bad. You're doing fine still. He takes, and now we get a free developing move. So I think queen e4, you just win the pawn, but you're still doing great here. Knight d4, well, just a tricky little thing. Too fast. Good move. Nah, that isn't it, buddy. Let's play bishop d2. Good. 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 Great. And now he's going to have to give us his bishop. Very nice. Oh, we got a beautiful position here. Beautiful. Rook a d1. Okay. My intuition was rook f d1, but this can't be bad. And now bishop takes e5. Bam! Take that. Of course, if black takes, then they lose the exchange. Yes, sir. And it's just so satisfying because it's not just a pawn. The pawn on e5 was the only thing holding the beast back. Now the beast is loose, right? The beast is loose. 98. All right, here we go. Simple chess. Bishop g3, I'm certain, was also winning. You spent 14 and a half minutes on that move. Holy moly. Or maybe that was just like in the last couple moves because you didn't mark it for bishop e5. Okay. Simple chess. Oh, that's a good one. Queen d5, winning another pawn. Very nice. Oh, it's so nice. Just so simple and sweet. Go back to that weird place you're going, buddy. Oh, it's so nice. Queen h4 maybe? Queen e4. Let's keep it simple. Oh, look at this beauty of the game. Full control. Oh, that's a nice move too. Oh, that wasn't it. Bam! Oh, it's very smooth. Very smooth. Yep, very smooth game. Now he should resign, but he's not going to. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. This is a non-resign situation over here from this guy. I refuse to give up. It's a little weird that we're still doing the annotations, honestly. Okay. Thrilled with this game. Yeah, no, that you should be. That was very smooth. And, you know, when you're playing people who are moving fast, they're going to be making rando threats, and their position's going to fall apart. So you look at this position, rook a d1, it's cool that you found bishop e5, but his position's like it's already nasty. Maybe his best move is knight e8, but that's not making any grandmother happy, right? I don't know why I came up with the grandmother, but I did. Okay, so that was beautiful. Say hello to Edmonton for me. All right, now we got Goldsman. Happy to regraduate after switching to my OTB. OTB rating still behind my online, but with 2 tournaments planned over the summer, looking to bring it up. Okay, great. Here's Goldman from the UK. Look at that staircase. Very nice. So congratulations. That's really well done. Okay, as you can see, he's doing all kinds of work. And what is the non-dojo stuff he's doing? What is it? Let's go click on this non-dojo business. Chess media. Okay. All right, so games. Oh, look at this. He's got it. Dojo Open Classical, all this stuff. I want to click on this OTB Classical. But these are all 24. Okay, so we don't want that one. Let's go all uploads. We'll just see what we got recent. Here's a 30-30. Maybe this is a famous dojo round robin. It's the right time control for it. Oh, no. Ah. Well, Goldsman, at least you didn't get a 0, buddy. Man, oh, man. Man, oh, man. So. Okay, so there we go. That's not what we want, right? Not what we want. All right, game review. I hope we smoked this fool. Fine. Probably okay. Let's take it. Uh-oh, that wasn't bad. So, you're talking about e4 being more active. Buddy, just take the pawn. That pawn is all you. That pawn is all you. So, interestingly, I guess he should play bishop f3 first. Because now... Oh, no. Sorry. No, his was perfect. He's going to get the morph he made if you take. Bishop g3. Now black is better. f6 is a good move. e4 poor. Why is e4 poor? Because, well, first of all, he's got a cheap threat. We get it. But this guy is totally blocked up. So f6 just dominates both the knight and the bishop. Okay. More cheap threats. Knight a3, thank you. All right. Now you got a couple moves. Bishop h4 comes to mind. c3, don't like it. This allows the knight, who is really a tourist, to come to d3. Okay. All right, we're going to get our own little threat going on. All right. Is the knight doing something? I don't know. He comes with bishop c5. I'm interested in bishop h4. Could I take on f6 and then win the pawn on e4? So when we played knight b3, we unfortunately lost the pressure on this pawn. So bishop h4 is we got to talk about it. Trying to win the pawn. That's the base of his whole position. Oscar Chess, hang around here longer. You'll definitely see some more of them. Knight c5, good move. That's what black gets for not thinking. Thank you very much. And now f3. Oh, nice move. Now e4. Also good. Thank you very much. Munch, munch. e4. Fine. See, he's just off for some chump threats over here. Nice move. Oh, didn't see that coming, did you? Now, can we just say the obvious? Let's go back here. Oh, man, look at that. Look at that. That's what you get. Welcome to the dojo, my real name. Welcome to the dojo, buddy. Okay, let's go back. We're moving on. Oh, man. Maybe I should have broke it up into 2 days. We're already at an hour 50. Dang. All right. World number 1 says, looking forward to the next cohort and to keep improving. Look at that, dude. Oh, man. Nice, dude. Look at this guy. He's on fire over here. He's also gained loads of points. Has graduated numerous times. Tactics rating, amazing. Okay, he's going to go up more. I'm pretty sure there's a Puerto Rican club, so join that one. We got some games. We got some all uploads. All right, so this is our most recent one. Maybe, oh yeah, this dude Amable. This dude Amable, I just looked at his profile, and I did a video. It's not out yet. It's called How to Make 1100. Amable's in there, also from Puerto Rico, so kind of cool that we got the battle of the Puerto Ricans going on right here. Could you get a zero time? It has nothing to do, Oscar, with whether you won or lost. It's just your time management. That's what it's about. Okay, so here we go. Bang. Oh, man. Amable. Buddy. Amable. What are we doing? What are we doing, Amable? No me gusto, bud. No me gusto, bro. Okay. I'm pretty sure when I did the video that was also Amable's problem. He was just on fire with moving too fast. And also, if I remember right, yeah, he always does this weird stonewall thing. He's obsessed. 95, bishop a6, fine. And so now he's lost a lot of time. And now after bishop c2, he's not going to get the castle. So c takes d4. Is this helpful? Who is it helpful for? The issue is that white's bishop on c1 is a disaster, right? And we don't want to facilitate the thing being opened. Here you have a variety of moves and plans. The simplest, of course, what does Jesse want you to do? He just wants you to put this here. I just want you to put it there and see what he does. So, for example, if he plays knight f3, I'm going to think strongly of knight e4. And then kicking this one, he's got one good piece, right? So I don't know what he's going to do. But I do know that knight d7 can't be that dumb, right? All right. So cd4, ed4, b5, interesting. Though, let's talk about why it's wrong. Now you've just blocked your bishop. And what does he need to do? a3, exclam, stop you. Stop you. You know? g4, now b4, my friend. Good move. Now you're back in business. g5, okay. Takes, maybe. Maybe. All right. That wasn't it. 42 seconds. Well, what are you doing? You don't have the business to do it, buddy. Yeah, this isn't going to work. All right, now a horrendous move by black, f6. Horrendo. Now, he did think for 5 minutes on this, right? And white has got this very crude plan. And he did see bishop d3. It seems to me like if you can see bishop d3, you play bishop d3. But let's just see what his notes say. I think here is where I stopped calculating. I failed to see I can play bishop f5 to prevent the battery from forming. Okay. Now, let's also stress that if you've got to this point and missed bishop f5, right? Well, let's just say we let him do it. We go rook e8, and we say, I'm out of here, Bows. I'm out of here. And then you just reframe the question as like, who's king? Who's king? Whose king is going to get attacked here? It's not mine. It's you, buddy. And my pieces are coming out. No one knows what these guys are doing. I'm just making a bunch of circles. No one knows. So even if you miss bishop f5, you got to realize that you're not getting mated. And this, though, is harikiri. What are we doing? Oh, no. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Definitely hurt. Mm-hmm. Okay. Black resigns. That hurt. Especially because of Mable. You need to hurt him. You need to hurt him so that he stops moving so fast. I did cover Amables in this video. Who knows when it'll actually come out? Hopefully soon. And there is interesting because he had a number of faults in his game. The game I looked at, he was definitely moving too fast, but it wasn't ridiculous like this one. All right, let's keep moving. I'm going to take a break in a second because I've been going forever. Here's Gimli. We're going to go grad show. Going to give Gimli a follow. Just joined. 1270, looking good. Clubs, nothing. Games, he's got some. Let's go all uploads. Bang. Here's a game. 30 plus 20, a little weird. Normally at the dojo we're doing 30-30, but we're going to accept this. It's close enough. Now, my friends, look. That's the way it should look, right? That's the way it should look. Beautiful. All right. Okay. Fine. Good. Good. Boom. I think I want you to just castle long here. Bishop d3 looks reasonable, but you're encouraging him to get a later knight e5 on you. It's probably fine, actually. It's probably fine. Also, you had bishop f5 there. Also a nice move here. g6. That's worrying me because he's going to get the knight e5. Oh. Okay, so what he missed was, let's talk about it. He missed it. He thought he was getting host here, and he missed this move, knight e5. Now, the reason we were a little bit hesitant to do knight e5 earlier is because of queen b7. But now it's not doing anything because we castled. Right? Okay, f5, horrendous, not developing. Bishop d4 looks good. Bishop h6 looks good. All right. Castle's long. Holy smokes. Bishop a7. I like it a lot. I like that move. That's real good. Now, definitely black should still play knight e5. And now we just got a winning position here. Simple chess. Simple chess. Check to the miserable king. Queen e2. Wait a second. Okay. Good. So he wanted king a7, queen e3. That was kind of fancy. You got a number of good moves here. Queen, I think bishop d4 is the simplest. Check to the miserable. Queen a4 looks good. Check. Check. Oh, dang. Welcome to the dojo. That's a nice move, boss. That's a nice move. Dang. Dang. So he says, you're fine on time. You got 8 minutes left and there's 20-second increment. You were doing fine. Completely crushing this guy. That was a beautiful sequence. And notice that black's moves were superficial. Right? He was making these superficial moves. You were thinking more than he was. And you found moves like rook d5. Well done. Absolutely fantastic. So that was Gimli, known as Marky Mark. And just joined the dojo. But has been doing good work. And that was some good looking games. I think he's going to graduate soon. Yeah, he's going to graduate soon. That was a great sequence. What does Marcelo Go have to say? After a long plateau, I finally graduated again. For a while, I was stuck in a loop, playing lots of games without really thinking about them or learning from them. Playing so much gave me the feeling that I was improving, but actually I was just repeating the same mistakes and building bad habits. I was playing on autopilot instead of really understanding what was going on. I had already started reading The Most Instructive Games, but this time I went through it more seriously and consistently. Little by little, I started to notice a change in the way I played, more focus, better decisions, and a clear idea of what to do in different positions. This experience reminded me that just playing isn't enough. Real progress comes from studying and thinking about the game in a deeper way. On to the next challenge. Great. Okay, here's Marcelo. And I'm going to look at that. Look at this. Physiotherapist. Wow, dude. And graduated all these times. It's a little yo-yo-y. It's a little yo-yo-y. But he's getting, look at actually, I think he graduated and then ungraduated himself. He didn't actually ungraduate, but you can see he's going up and down a lot. Okay. So what is the non-dojo stuff he's doing? He's doing some non-dojo tactics. Okay. This non-dojo's killing me. I still have to figure it out. I'm just going to put that on our Friday discussion. I still don't understand why it's there. I thought we had gotten rid of it. Okay, so clubs. Let's see where he is. Oh, he's in Italy. Great. All uploads. And now we have Tomshko. I think Tomshko is in the dojo. Let's see what we got here. Bang. Now that's a good looking time graph, my friends. Look at that thing. That's a good looking time graph. Fourth round of the Open Classical. So let me just say, let me just tout the Dojo Classical for a second, as well as the round robin. You know, our tournaments, we're working at it. We're making some organizational things better. But let's just talk the obvious. You're very unlikely to face a cheater. You will probably get a postmortem. And it's far less likely you're going to get somebody, sometimes a mobble, we get it, don't we, buddy? You're far less likely to get somebody who's just raging through the game, not thinking, right? But it looks like this. This looks like a good competitive fight. All right. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a break. Fine. Weird. It's not terrible. A little weird. Good. You're doing great. Queen b3. I don't know. h6. Okay. Now, to be fair, to h6, it's not immediately obvious what you should do. To my eye, the simple way to play would be queen b6. If you just, move my queen somewhere, right? Okay. So, h6, though, while it's not a developing move, there's ways in which that move could become useful later. Now, you don't like knight e5, but let me just give it let me give it a little love. Knight e5, whenever you fianchetto, you will often have to move the knight out of the way. And this one is kind of nice. He's just giving you a little pressure. Okay, so you decide to try to ignore the knight. I don't know. Lots of things could happen here. A move that I'm interested in is g5 because it forces knight c6. And then the bishop, we can kick it from this diagonal, and then we're going to win another tempo at some point. Don't do it right away, though, Cry. You'll lose your coconut. Okay. So, knight d4. Okay, we'll give it a chance. Queen d1. Okay. Knight c3. Good move. All right, now we have a hot situation, obviously. Okay. Rook b1. This is very hot. Okay, I would be interested in analyzing e3, queen takes. I think that we got to do it because if we go knight c6, he's going to go knight d7 and take this coconut. Wait, can we make it even simpler? A queen b6. Also, if we just imagine snip, snap, snook, that looks bad for us because he's opening all the diagonals, queen b2. We'll just defend it for a second. We'll play e3 soon. Okay, but he plays rook b1. Now you can hold your coconuts together. But does e3 hurt you? Let's see. He plays e4. Weird. In the game, I was thinking this pawn break is advantageous for black as he can eventually take control of the open file. Good. And more importantly, he's just leaving the whole question about the knight there was, is it unstable? To me, it looks unstable. Kick him out of there. Get him out of there. We don't want that knight sitting around. Is Joko Piano bad? No. As long as it's principled moves, you're going to be fine. Eric Blair, thank you. Okay, so e4, definitely a weird move. I like it. Knight c6, huh? Now you take with a knight. I understand. I think I understand. You could take with a pawn, too. e5, don't like it. Now black has two weak pawns. Rook a d8, simple and effective. Beautiful annotation. Beautiful. So simple for black to play the position, too. We're just going to do this stuff and ask him what he wants in life. All right, bishop c1 is definitely weird. And you're right, bishop e3 is better. e1, simple. Thank you. Might as well. You could also take on c1. That doesn't look right. Look at this, what happens here, guys. Black resigns. We could have continued, but the frustration led me to resign. Now, let's just talk about this queen c6 blunder for a second. What's weird about queen c6 is that, all right, let's think about how, I always want to try to get inside his thought process here for a second. So first of all, black is doing great, right? Let's get rid of the arrows for a second. Black is doing great. And he is concerned, I guess, with queen a7, right? Now, there's a variety of things he could do. The simplest, of course, is just play rook fd8. And you put that in the notes. Great. And I'm just trying to understand his thought process. Like, okay, clearly he missed knight f6. And he's thinking to himself, well, if queen a7, I got knight c2, something like that. Oh, man. I've lost a couple blitz games like that recently, and I did yell the F-bomb. I did yell the F-bomb. Now, one of the things I just want to stress here that's interesting, I'm doing this series, how to make X and all that stuff. What I'm finding is that up to 1,000 in the dojo, the mistakes, the critical mistakes, aren't really tactics. They're just like somebody blatantly hanging something. And so this one, while some might consider it obvious, it's really a two-ply thing, right? It's a discovered attack. And so, and then maybe black didn't realize too that the rook isn't defended. So that's like slightly more advanced, and arguably that's what we see now at this level. Okay, so very nice competitive game. White played a lot of bad moves. You were exploiting it, and then the bummer happened. The bummer happened. Unfair. Unfair. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Check out this song that my bro David wrote. Bang.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the club is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin. Who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chap. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 all accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes.
All right, let's continue. To continue to pretend that our lives will never end and the flowers never bend with the rainfall. All right, this is Sweat Gland. We're going to check out his game with Devin W. So, another graduation. But I want to take a bit more time to be able to get a couple more OTB games in for you to review and also to make sure I'm able to maintain the rating. Okay. Sweat Gland has done a lot of work. It is simply harder to graduate once the higher up you go. Look at this. Look at all this work Sweat Gland's doing. Dang. Now, he did graduate fairly recently, and he's just on a tear. Look at this. That is some good work since September. Eastern Washington, nice. Started playing after the Queen's Gambit. He's already at 12 to 1300. That's amazing. Don't do the pills. And he's lifting some weights. That's nice to hear. All right, 1328. Look at that. He's ready to go again. He's ready to go again. All right. So he has let's go look. Do we have Eastern Washington Club? It's funny. Like the dudes who are in lifting heavy things, they're graduating a lot because there's only 27 members, but I swear, I'll go look at the clubs. I'm like, oh man, a lot of people lifting heavy things are just graduating. Games. All right, so he wanted Devin. We're going to check out Devin. This is a 90-0. This is an OTB game. Do we got times? We do. Check it out. Boom. So 5-second delay. Delay is a very tricky thing because when you get down to like the end, you can't ever gain time. And it kind of looks like maybe he lost on time here. So I've been tricked by that delay thing before. I've been tricked. Okay. All right. So we're going to go. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're going to go game review. Boop. E4, A6, obviously weird. Good move. Good move. Good move. Simple chess. Fine. Fine. Oh, you're doing great. Good. All right. E5, good move. Oh, you're playing great. Simple GM level chess here. You started playing Queen's Gambit. Look at this just classical movement we got. C takes, Bishop E7. And now we do want to think for a momentito and ask ourselves how we want to continue. All right, so he gets very ambitious with knight EG5. That move makes me nervous because of knight D4 stuff. So this is definitely a situation where we're doing great and we need to take a second to build the position a little bit. So the move that comes to mind is rook E1, developing. This rook can later be used with a lift maybe. And we're waiting until he castles before we do your move. Okay? And the big question about this move, again, I'm not even sure this works, would be if H6, do we play knight H7? I don't know. I'm not actually sure yet. Maybe not. It might not work. And if it doesn't work, Then what we want to do is play a move like queen e2. What does that do? Well, if they make a normal developing move, then we'll consider it. And then we'll bust him with that. Now, it's still pretty hot, as you can tell. But that's the kind of thing we want to do to increase our attack. Yeah. I'm just looking at it a little bit. Here's an amazing variation. G6, queen h4, exclam, pawn takes. I don't know if this is actually an exclam cry. Maybe this isn't an exclam. It might be an exclam, though. Like knight takes. This is forced. Bishop takes. Now, if f6, we're going to claim that bishop g6 is winning. So like queen b6. I don't know, actually, people. This might not be it. But we have rook e4. My next move is here, and I got these threats. Holy moly, I don't know. It looks amazing, though. All right. It's hard to learn to attack in these positions. Your opponent misses it for sure. And I think knight d4 is a pain in the butt. You know, knight d4, bishop g5, that kind of thing. All right. So we also just lost some time there. Now, once we get him to commit to h6, we want that queen e2, e4 thing. Frisky. He says, I'll take it. Now, I don't know about this take. Now he's giving you this stuff. You do an amazing thing here. You're just like, screw it. Bang. What are you doing? That's a piece, buddy. That's a piece. Why'd you give away my piece? You're an angry man. Does this come from lifting all those heavy things? Oh, I don't know about this. Now, he's got several moves here. I'm assuming bishop g5 also works. Oh, man, knight e2, that looks just like a blunder. Thank you. By the way, okay, we definitely need to do more annotations here. So, let's just pause for a moment. Yeah, this is a very scary moment for everybody involved, but knight e2 just hangs the knight, doesn't even do anything. Knight d4, look, we're down a full piece, and there's knight d4 maybe not necessary, you know. Maybe not necessary, buddy. Okay, boom, boom. And then it's getting really hot. It's a super hot position. I'd be interested in queen g5. I don't know. This is too hot. I don't know. I'm bugging out. I'm bugging out. Anyways, knight e2 isn't it? So now you're back in the game. You're totally back in the game now. Rook ad1 looks good. Okay. Rook ad1, nice. Simple chess. Now he's done for. Simple chess, I like it a lot. g3. Just g3, you're winning the bishop. Oh, it wasn't true, though. I was wrong, excuse me. Not true. If I play g3, dude has a check, and then, has a check, and then his bishop can come back. Sounds wrong. I get takebacks, too. King h2 looks good. But now this is over. Check. That ain't it, buddy. That's fine. That's fancy and fine. Check to the miserable king. Oh, that was beautiful. That was some intense stuff. And I can tell that you are a very angry man. Because you just played bishop h6, and even in your notes, you're like, I'm not even questioning that. I'm not even going to question bishop h6. I'm just going to do it. I think knight d6, I mean, my God, you're doing great. h4 is an interesting move, by the way. It's like, because it's not clear that we really need h4. Right? that was some wild stuff. You're a very angry man, Sweatgland. I guess with a name like Sweatgland, it might turn into an angry thing. All right, well done. That was good. My home is my rook. He's done some work, doesn't say anything. Give him a follow. A little bit weird how it's a custom, but maybe didn't want to link to his lead chess or something. I don't know. His ECF is crushing 1271. Okay, just joined. Do we got anything here? Clubs? No. Activity? We got a little bit. We got games. We got loads of games. So look at this. Okay, but these are from forever ago. So what we want to say, my home is my rook, is we definitely want more recent games, but it's cool that you uploaded these and did some stuff. Okay, good. All right. Oh my gosh, Shattered Nirvana. Here he comes. This one, I quoted this, so I do a Dojo Digest, and I quoted Shattered here. I always do a little quote at the very top, and I quoted Shattered Nirvana in this one. It'll come out, at the end of the month. This one's been a long time coming. I've been in this cohort for a little over 2 years now, racked up 150 plus classical games played and analyzed. I had to take a hard look at every aspect of how I play chess to break through this plateau, especially my time management. Even so, I know this is just the beginning, and I'm excited to see what comes next. Thanks a ton to everyone in the dojo for creating such a warm and helpful environment. If you're looking for a game to show off, go for this one. So we'll take a look at that. We'll just grab it. And then this is where to go. Shattered Nirvana. Great. So 1741. Look at this. He's working it. I say this all the time. As we go up the ladder, we're going to see more and more people using an OTB rating. Okay. So, yeah, that all looks good. Clubs. SoCal. Correct the Mundo. Then we're not even going to do games. We're just going to paste it here. Bang. All right, this is the famous Chris Bunch. And look at this time graph we got. He's doing much better than his opponent. Look at that thing. That's what I want to see at the dojo, right? Okay, so this is an OTB game. Fine. It's okay. Oh, man. Okay, careless passerby. Messed with them. Okay. Fine. Good. Fine. Good. I'd say white's got a slightly more pleasant position. And I like his notation on knight g3. Yeah, knight e3 is better. So, h3, nice. Very good patience. These positions are hard to win. And we should just note that white's pieces are just a little bit better than black's. Notice also this bishop doesn't really need to be developed because this guy's out. 97. I'm going to say I don't understand 97. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, white plays a very fancy move, knight h2. Yeah, this is an old idea of Fischer's. Okay. So let's see how it goes. c5 and then bishop c2 I don't like. Knight eg4. Now, why would we play eg4? We want to play hg4. Let me just say, I'm going to guess that Chris thought of knight h2 because he's seen it in other positions. But it's important to understand what the idea is. because it's pretty paradoxical, really. The idea is that if you hit me with h5, I'll play knight h2, knight f3, and there's a weakness. It's highfalutin. If you take it, then my g-pawn, although it looks like nothing special, my g-pawn will eventually go to g5, and I'll be able to talk to you a little bit. It's pretty abstract. It's just a small improvement in the position. Okay, so bishop c2, weird. Why? Why did we do it? And I guess what we want to say, too, is he's terrified of c4, which I don't think he should be. Like, let's say we do the other one, knight hg4, c4. Well, at the bare minimum, we win a pawn. I just take, and I take. What are we doing? What are we doing? Thank you for the pieszka. Okay, so an unnecessary fear. Bishop was great on b3. Knight c6, I don't like it. Well, where's the knight going? It's dominated on that square. Okay. Now you can see his intention is to do the check on h6. What I want him to see is, no, we want this knight, because when we get rid of this one, now we have this square. The knight on h2 is going to have to be fixed now. So you're obsessing about knight h6, but no, the knight on h2 needed to come. The knight on e3 was already amazing. All right, so here he probably helps you out a little bit. Again, hg4 is the traditional idea, and then that's miserable. Now you got two bishops. Boom, and now you come up with hg. You can still play queen g4, but I like hg. We'll play g5 and give it to him. Give him the business. b4, okay. g3, I think g5 is strong too. Now we can't do g5 so easily. Black should consider bishop g5 to trade off his bishop. Good. Oh, that was bad. Check to the miserable king. So now I think you're close to positionally winning, because the rook on h8 is no bueno. Good move. Looks like cheap threats to me. Black needs to get rid of the bishop. I don't care if it's bishop g7 or whatever, that thing's got to go. Yeah, we are up a piece, up a rook. Boom, nice move. Fine. No, he's stuck now. All right, you got a lot of good moves. Let's see what you do here. Okay, I like it. Nice. Nice. Ooh, probably winning, yeah. Bishop g8. He finds bishop g8 in the notes. Let's just put it on the board. Beautiful find. And you know, I don't know. I studied a lot of Fischer's games when I was a kid, and this is the joy that we're looking for. This is the joy, right? Mm-hmm. We outplayed him, and it seemed like nothing was going on, but in fact, we were just slowly gaining advantage after advantage, and then boom, this is what we get. It's a very nice note. I'm sure you're still winning here, but now now he can move his knight. Unfortunately, you're still doing great. Now he's opening his. I didn't say it. Simple chess. Rook g7's got to be winning. Check. Well, yours is pretty. Your move's pretty good too. It's got to be said. Check to the miserable king. Note for the Chess Dojo viewer: I was about to play this move, but technically was not played since Black resigned first. Okay, that was a great game. That's the Ruy Lopez in action. Yeah, really well done. Very good annotations. Now, it's not true that the annotations get better as you go up the ladder, but we're getting a lot of thoughtful work here from Chris in this annotation. And hopefully I was helpful in describing this knight h2 business. And bishop c2 was a weird move. We think deeply about why did we play bishop c2? Okay. Now, by the way, as we get up in rating, then we can start doing some openings. Then we can start thinking deeply about what's going on and all that other fun stuff. And we can get good at then an opening, like the way Chris is getting good at this one. Okay. Oh, I didn't really want. That's fine. So he's 1700, 1800. Very nice graduation. Now we have Alvin. Alvin's pretty good. This graduation marks the real challenge for me in the dojo. I've never crossed 2,000 rating at Rapid and ChessCom, let alone come up to 2050. I believe this will determine if the dojo really works for me. I like that kind of challenge. So far, I still blunder here and there, always not using my time. Playing Rapid and Blitz are not helping indeed, and so from here on, no more Blitz. Just pure classical chess, monotask it is. Oh, I like this guy. So, here's Alvin, and right, joined fairly recently, doing a lot of work in the Philippines. Okay, great. So, just here, we're going to see how he's doing. He's got this 1750 going on. Looks great. All right, clubs. We got a Philippine club? Let's get that Philippine club going, you guys. Come on. Now, when we look at the ratings, there's his FIDE rating, which is a little lower, of course. Well, not of course, but actually, it's weird. It says 1348, and I think that doesn't exist anymore. You drop below 1400, right? And they're like, nope, you can't. You don't exist anymore. Some weird thing like that. They push you off the cliff then when you go below 1400. All right, games. So here's Alvin, and he's playing a stronger rated opponent here. Let's give this a click. Do we got times? Now, what we got to say here is this is good. He played and then his opponent didn't. And this is a thing that David Proust does. Sensei at the dojo here. It does a Friday night fights. Lost the first because he wasn't using his time. And then David explained how to use his time for the second game. So that's good news right there. Okay. Here we go. Right, we come at knight of 6. Boom, boom. And I also think queen f6 doesn't look right. You need to develop your peoples. Castles definitely was what I would be worried about if I was black. All right? Don't like it because you're like there's a variety of knight d5 terrible things that could happen to you, but also it's not a developing move. Now, is this knight d5 a good move? Notice, this guy, this guy needed to slow down and think. Did he? No, he did not. And you're about to lay down the law. Notice the simple thing for him to do would just be to capture and then castle. And he's got good attacking chances. Boom. Now, he should probably consider knight takes d2. Okay. So, you looked at even king takes d2. Bang! I like that. I think I do anyway. So, let's look at gf3. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of stuff. You'll play c6, you'll knock him out. You're doing great. So, queen d4, that does look kind of scary. That looks terrifying, honestly. Maybe queen d4 is a good move. Oh, no. What is going on here? Wow, queen d4, and he played it with 46 seconds. Honestly, I'm going to say you got a little lucky. I think you got a little lucky here. Oh, man. Wow, this is hot. This is hot. Okay, wait, time out. Time out. We got to spend a little time here, Alvin, thinking about what's going on. Because firstly, the simple way of playing chess here was not queen f3. It was very fancy what you did. I was impressed just with the idea. But what if we just check and we come in here? Aren't we alive in 85? Right? We're doing okay. It's a little hot. But, you know, we still got everything to fight for. I'm going to guess you missed this move. He got lucky with it. And now, I don't know, I feel like we're in big trouble. Well, that was, oh my gosh. This one's complicated. I'm just going to admit, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Wait, this is complicated. Knight c6. Whew, this one's a hot fiesta over here. What is happening? Okay, so a simpler path for white, right, would be here, 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 here. Oh, man, I still don't know exactly what's going on. Okay, lots to analyze here. King d1 would be my main question. But then you have queen d4 at the minimum. Check. Oh, this is a mess. Wow. Okay, here we go. This is really spicy. Boom, 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 boom. Good move. Do I know what's happening here? I don't. Queen c3. You're absolutely right. You need your queen. Check. Now, let me just say something obvious. This guy spends 59 seconds here. This is a key decision for white. King g1. All right, good. That can't be wrong. Right. Now we need to activate our other piece. Good. b5. I'm not sure. Well, let's just say g3 wasn't it. G3 definitely wasn't it. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, G3? Can we just go back to that time graph for a second? Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, Sukfangsteiner? Oh, you're killing me. So I think H3 might be the question here. G3, isn't it? We just opened up this gaping hole here. So knight F3 is the simple way. Knight E4, I don't know what he's going to do on knight E4. That's also pretty tasty. I don't understand B5, but maybe it doesn't ruin anything. Now, one bummer is we're taking this thing. I kind of didn't want to take it because it's yeah, you're on the pawn roll now. I don't know. I don't like this. Why can't he play queen B5? Oh, excuse me, because he's on E1. That's why. Knight D4, okay. I wanted you to play knight D5 to trade off some stuff. Oh, but knight E4 is fine, Christ. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. Good moves. Oh, he goes back. He doesn't understand that his king can't do that. And now he resigns after playing so fast? All right, so what I would like to say about that game is Alvin could have spent a little bit more time, but most importantly, you're going to face chumps like this, especially when you're playing online. And what do we want to do? We want to destroy them. What are their moves going to be like? They're going to be simple threats, right? This one was kind of complicated. I think like the guy wasn't really thinking about it too much. But here we're starting to see too. Now it's not just, there's some real calculation going on in these positions now. It's not like somebody just hanging the piece or a two-move threat or something. Now that we're getting up there, we're getting deeper kinds of calculation, things going on. All right, we got 3 more. All right, let's go Grand Show. I'm hungry. I'm going to finish this out. 25, joined fairly recently. Yeah, clubs. Adult improver, okay. I don't know if at 25, maybe, I guess technically you are. I kind of feel like you got to be 40 to be an adult improver. Anyways, here we go. So let's look at this game. This is a 60-30, correct time control. I'm guessing this is a game from the dojo round robin. We got a pretty good time graph. Our opponent didn't use his time that well. All right, boom. Now we're going to get a very interesting opening variation. C5. E5 is more normal, but okay, D5, you can do this too. And now bishop D3 is definitely the move. Let's read what he writes. Was not sure if bishop D3 was a move or not. I'm out of book basically with only general ideas on the Benoni structure left in my head. If bishop D3, I was worried about knight D7 to E5. I didn't know that if that was an issue. I therefore played the safe move. All right, let me try to explain. The reason bishop D3 is super strong is we want to prevent bishop F5. Well, by the way, when he plays ED, we have two moves, CD and ED. Both are good. If we play ED, we want to prevent bishop F5. And if we play CD, we're just giving ourselves more protection on the pawn. It's not easy for him to play knight E5. Yeah, that's kind of one of the fundamental things about this H3, which, as you said, E5 will lead the Makaganov thing. And if they play the Benoni, it's useful here too. That's one of the geniuses of the H3 move. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so you opt for, let's call it the safe way. And now he should really think about plan like bishop F5 followed by knight E4 just to free up his pieces some. Okay, he's a little slow. Maybe we should play bishop D3 now. A4. Okay. Now, the issue with this is, can you play bishop F4? In general, we shouldn't be afraid of knight E5, right? Because this is just a nice position for you, as you put in your notes. All right, rook E1. By the way, what did black need to do? Bishop F5, followed by knight E4. Black has less space, wants to trade some stuff off. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Good move. We're slightly better here, bishop D3. Okay. Now, yeah, we're slightly better. Poor. Not surprised they're in the game, but it feels risky for black. Hard to find a plan, however, so understandable. Okay, let me tell you black's plan. Black needs to say to himself, oh, I got to trade off as many pieces as possible. In particular, the rooks. So, white's better, but it's important to stress that there's still a long road for white here. Knight H5 is controversial already because the knight, it's not clear it belongs on H5, right? So, a basic plan, for example, would be B6 followed by rook A7, trade the rooks, try to survive, right? All right, so dislocates the knight. He did think for almost 8 minutes. F5, way too frisky, not clear why. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Now, we do want a good move. I like A5, but I think you might have other moves. What'd you do? Queen D2. Okay. Rook F7, poor. The idea is obvious, but this feels a bit artificial. Absolutely. There's no way he's going to do with some F4 stuff. Good. Good. Well, that's just hanging. Boom. But he was already in trouble at that point, right? Ah, simple chess. What you're doing's fine. I guess I would prefer bishop G3 here, just so that his knight never gets to F4. Why are you just killing him? He could resign here. He won't resign. He will not. Okay, that was great. That was great. And let me just stress, to me, one of the main storylines of this game was your opponent didn't think. And for the most part, one of the things to see about this, actually, to just think about, is you're coming to a skill level now where things like how to use a space advantage are going to become themes. It's very hard to use a space advantage, and that position's a classical example of it. Notice that what your opponent did there is he started flailing. He started flailing with knight h5, f5, rook f7. And that's the kind of thing you're going to get a lot of that you need to learn to punish at this level, right? Okay, here's Bombo. I was right on the cusp, feeling grateful. Okay, let's do this here. So, wait, why isn't this working for me? There we go. All right. The high of 2083. Beautiful. Just joined. 1905 USCF. This is what we like to see. Bombo, thank you for being here. Games. Let's see if we got something. No. Bombo just joined. Bombo, give us a game, bud. Give us a game. Trying to get to master. Obviously getting back to ye old 2000 is first step, but I understand. Okay, great. The pro guy. Here he is. And then I got to get a snack. I'm hungry. Now this guy is 17. He wants to become a national master. I have not been logging time in the dojo because I'm paying more attention to logging time than doing actual strike work. It's a very good system, just doesn't work perfect for me. Okay, so 1909, the pro guy. Got a beautiful tactics rating. Let's see what's going on with the clubs over here in New England. Great. Got great chances to play tournaments over there. All right. So, activity, we're not going to see much. He's not logging it. We used to log it. Maybe he was logging it back then. Logging the time. Logging the time can be kind of annoying sometimes. I get it. But then I can see it and then you can see it, what you've done. I can give you help. I can give you some advice if you log it. Okay, here's the pro guy. This was played or created. All of these were created fairly recently. Let's look at this one. Do we got a time graph? Nothing. All right, let's go over here. Oh, this one I'm going to do a take back. Well, so what I'm seeing with this, by the way, so I'm seeing a typical thing. Whenever I see inaccuracy, knight b3 was best. I'm seeing the Lee chess analysis. So maybe we'll come to this. I just want to see if we get one that doesn't have that because it annoys me. These are kind of lightly annotated. What is this? What does this say? He's saying something. I'm a worthwhile. Anyways, no, I'm sorry you guys couldn't see that part. This one's unannotated, or kind of mostly unannotated. So he's importing it from Lee chess, and the Lee chess is unfortunately giving him like an immediate analysis. He put a bunch of games in on 6/24, which was yesterday. I want to pick one where he did some epic analysis. Okay, let's do this one. This one looks a little bit more involved. So no clock time. We'll mark this as reviewed. So here we go. Fine. Fine. A little weird. Okay, but I think I can get behind that. And I think 97 is a big mistake. You can't allow h5. Now, the main point is that rook is so strong on h1. d5. I'm sure you have different moves, but that one can't be wrong. And now e3, you don't like. This is just a horrible move. I have no clue why I didn't go d3. I think my idea was to go for d4, 4, which is just totally the wrong plan. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 Okay, I'm with you. By the way, I want to stress there's no rush for you to play h6, right? So if I'm black, maybe, I don't like my position, but maybe I just want you, I'm thankful you're telling me. Because if you play d3, then I have to wonder what's going on. Various HGs could happen to me, for example. All right, snip, that was terrible. That's a god-awful move. So you should say what you think he should have done. I'm assuming dc4. dc4 looks bothersome to me. And then you got to worry about like a later knight b4. Okay. You went for the queen trade. I'm a little surprised by that. You'll definitely be better after this queen trade. But queen a4, you keep all the advantages in the position. All right, maybe black can survive this. So rook h4, I don't know. Knight f5 looks annoying. So you talk about knight g5 and knight d2. And then bishop d7 was played. But isn't knight f5 a bummer? Because I don't want him to win our coconut, What is he doing? Now you play rook h4, and you talk about knight g5. Okay. So. Okay, let's play e4. Oh. Weird that you didn't play e4 earlier. Okay. Here, we definitely want, the pro guide definitely want you to do more work in the annotations here, because this is, e5, for example, very controversial because now you can control d5 and he can't. And you can control it with either c4 or d4. I like this move. Okay, that's terrible. Okay, c4. Great. Good. 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 King d2. Okay. I would want to talk about, okay, it's fine. e4. And then he says, I kid you not, my annotation ends here, went back and forth, but ended in a draw. But we also want to give some little bit more words here, like ef5. What's happening? Notation might have ended because of time pressure, but we don't see that. So the pro guy, of course, I want you to log your times and everything. But also, I want to say the annotations could be improved, and it'll definitely help your games to go deeper into it. I know some of those games you pulled from Lee Chess, and then it instantly does the computer analysis. This is a bummer. So you want to try to avoid that, and you really want to, you can look at the engine, it's fine, but just do it after you looked at it with your own eyes. Because a lot of those positions, you're like, you had a plan, you had a position where you needed to find some plans, and then you want to, in the annotation, you really want to work to see, well, what could I have done in this position? All right, my friends, I'm going to end it. That was a great show. That was a long one, too, dude. We're at basically 3 hours. We're going to hit a raid on somebody. Who's it going to be? We got loads of people over here, friends of the dojo. Let's do Anna Maya. All right. Check out our YouTube channel. We got a lot of videos coming up. There's 9 in the tank, and we got a video editor working on it. Eric Blair, thank you for being here. And so we got a lot of cool things going on. Johnny Cassidy's from New Mexico. I'm from New Mexico too, bows. There we go. Bye, everybody.